The big political headline this morning, an opposition meeting will be held in Bengaluru. It's a two-day opposition meet. 24 parties are likely to attend this particular meeting of the opposition. This is the second meeting after the Patna huddle. Interestingly, the Aam Aadmi Party will also be attending this particular meeting after the Congress decided to support the Aam Aadmi Party in its fight against the Ordinance. Just yesterday, the Congress said that it will fight with the Aam Aadmi Party and oppose the Ordinance in the Parliament. But news just coming in, Sharad Pawar will be skipping this opposition meeting. Very, very significant. But his daughter, Supriya Sule, will be attending this particular meeting of the opposition. Sharad Pawar was also not present in Patna for the opposition meeting. But this assumes significance as this opposition meeting comes after the Maharashtra coup by Ajit Pawar. After Ajit Pawar broke ranks with his father and with his uncle, I beg your pardon, and joined the Shinde-Fadnavis government there. Sohit is now joining us on the broadcast. We'll also go across to Sunil Prabhu for all the action as far as the opposition meeting is concerned. But going across to you, Sohit, first, Sharad Pawar not attending the opposition meeting is significant because this comes after Ajit Pawar's coup. Also importantly, he did not attend that Patna meeting. But do you think it has something to do with Ajit Pawar in a sense reaching out to Sharad Pawar yesterday?
Well, Vedant, Sharad Pawar did attend the opposition meeting in Patna. In fact, he was one of the most important persons over there who was responsible for organizing the entire meeting. And he did attend the Patna meeting along with his daughter, Supriya Sule. And at that time, the NCP was in opposition. However, later, what we saw is that Ajit Pawar, along with some MLAs, joined the government and they formed and they are now part of the government. And yes, now, while Sharad Pawar won't be attending today's meeting, the daughter Supriya Sule will be present over there. However, the reasons why Sharad Pawar won't be attending is still not known. So that is something that is very important to note. And as you rightly mentioned, the timing is also something that's very interesting because yesterday we saw all of a sudden, without any appointment, Ajit Pawar along with his other ministers who have joined the government now went to meet Sharad Pawar to take his blessings. This happened ahead of the crucial monsoon session which begins from tomorrow, ahead of the opposition unity meeting which is going to happen in Bengaluru. They said that we went there to ensure that there are no two factions in the party and we want Sharad Pawar with us, we want his blessings. All of these things were said. But right. At that time, what is being said is that Sharad Pawar did not respond to it. Sharad Pawar did not say anything. But as of now, while he is not attending the meeting, once again questions are being raised that what exactly is brewing in the NCP faction. However, since the daughter is going over there, there's no clarity. And if there's no clarity with us, imagine what is the condition of those MLAs who are supporting Sharad Pawar, who are currently confused with this in the opposition or in the government. They don't know what exactly is happening. Ajit Pawar can go and meet Sharad Pawar. Sharad Pawar listens but does not say anything. So a lot of confusion among the NCP camp supporting Sharad Pawar right now. And in all of this, Sharad Pawar won't be attending the crucial opposition meeting that is going to happen in Bengaluru today. The very same meeting where he has played an important role to bringing several of the opposition parties in the country together.
Right. So thanks so much for that clarification. So Sharad Pawar, in fact, even more significant that he was there in the Patna meeting and he is not attending this particular meeting of the opposition in Bengaluru. In fact, he's also seen as one of the key architects of opposition unity. Sunil Prabhu is also now joining us on the broadcast. Sunil, very significant that now, the Congress chairing this particular meeting and the Aam Aadmi Party now also attending the opposition meeting in Bengaluru after the Congress's, after the Congress decided to oppose the Ordinance in Parliament. So very interesting that the Congress's peace move as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned just ahead of that opposition meeting in Bengaluru.
Well, I think on the ordinance issue, it was always clear that they would oppose it. It was just that they needed to take their Punjab as well as Delhi state unit into confidence, and that's why those parleys were taking place, and that's why that pronouncement didn't come out in the open. But ahead of that parliament session, a public announcement by Mr. K.C. Venugopal. But I think today's meeting, which is going to be held, dinner hosted by the Congress president as well as key interlocutors, meeting and trying to break the ice, is the nuts and bolts of this opposition unity. How do they forge opposition unity? What's the name? What's the way that they're going to do it? A subcommittee to form a common minimum program. How do you go back to the people with what is the vision for India and what they want to take forward? These are the basic nuts and bolts, as well as, of course, wherever possible, to have an alliance, and if it's not possible, at least seat sharing to ensure there's a common candidate against the NDA led by the BJP. And I think that's a critical factor that is going to take place in this meet, which is going to be held today as well as tomorrow, and hopefully some kind of statement in terms of how they want to go forward on various key issues and factors. As I said, these are nuts and bolts if you have to take on the BJP-led NDA in the coming 2024 Lok Sabha elections.
Thanks, Sunil, so much for that perspective. Pratibha Raman is now also joining us on the broadcast from Bengaluru. Pratibha, what are the kind of preparations that are currently underway in Bengaluru ahead of that opposition meeting?
Well, in fact, we see a lot of hoardings and posters that have been set up right on this road. In fact, several parts of Bengaluru too are adorned with posters of several of these leaders. A last-minute addition has also been AAP leader Arvind Kejriwal's poster. In fact, a huge one over here, almost signifying a grand mega gala of sorts that is going to take place in the next 2 days. What we hear right now is that the leaders will start streaming in right from this afternoon. And this evening, there will be an informal session that will take place from 6 p.m. And in the night, there would be a dinner that will be hosted by the Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah. And tomorrow is when the actual deliberations will take place. Significance is Sonia Gandhi's presence, of course, and also AAP leaders' presence. In fact, they have been sticking to their demand of the Congress sticking to the fight against the Ordinance, and a last-minute decision of the Congress has led to the AAP leaders' presence in this particular meeting. And we also have to understand that right from 15 parties that participated in the first event, we are looking at around 24 parties that is likely to participate in this particular meeting today, which is also going to be a significant move with at least around 150 Lok Sabha members in their kitty. Whether this will actually make it a tough fight in 2024, we'll have to wait and see how this meeting will take place.
Right, Pratibha, thanks so much for joining us with all those details from Bengaluru. So posters put up in this bid for opposition unity, and 24 parties are likely to attend. Moving now to the other big headline. Well, the Enforcement Directorate is searching the residences of Tamil Nadu Higher Education Minister Ponmudi and his son Gautam Sigamani, who is also a member of Parliament from the DMK. Now this pertains to the illegal allotment of mines as per the Enforcement Directorate, and the case is related to a money laundering case and the allegedly illegal allotment of mines when Mr. Ponmudi was the mines minister. According to ED sources, 5 mines were allotted when he was the mines minister, and very significantly this comes close on the heels of the arrest of Tamil Nadu Electricity Minister Senthil Balaji by the Enforcement Directorate. Short break now. News and updates continue on the other side. Welcome back. Let's get to the latest on the situation in Manipur. Well, tribal groups have called for shutting down and a national highway blockade. Well, in other news, 2 tribals were killed in separate incidents in last 2 days. A Naga tribe group has called for 12 hours shutdown in Naga-dominated areas, and another tribal body has called for 72 hours of shutdown of national highway from today. Several arrests have been made in the case of killings, arson of LPG trucks. This is what police sources have told NDTV. Ratnadeep Chaudhary is now joining us on the phone line. Ratnadeep, so now tribal groups have called for shutting down and a blockade as far as the key national highway is concerned.
That's right. In fact, the United Naga Council, the UNC, which is the most powerful Naga tribal body in Manipur, they have called for a 12-hour shutdown in the Naga-dominated areas of Manipur. Particularly, this will impact districts like Ukrul, like Senapati, like None, these are the areas where the Nagas dominate. In fact, a Naga tribal woman was killed by unidentified gunmen on July 15, and after that, in that case, actually police have arrested 9 people. They have recovered firearms as well used in this attack, but this has resulted in condemnation from several tribal groups. In fact, another important tribal group, particularly in Kankopi district, the Committee on Tribal Unity, the COTU, has called for a 72-hour shutdown, 72-hour blockade of the National Highway 2. Now, National Highway 2, remember, is the main link for Manipur with the rest of the country, and essential communities have been moving through the National Highway to, apart from National Highway 37, which is the other link. So this is also in connection to, recent incident of firing as well as killing of two tribal people in the last 48 hours. In fact, another tribal man was killed by armed miscreants in Kankopi district. Now, what army and police sources are telling us in the last 24 hours, in the border areas between Imphal East and West and Kankopi district, again there have been intermittent firing. There have been incidents of firing which has been taking place. For the last couple of days, there was a brief lull in this firing and incidents of violence from Manipur. But in the last 48 hours, now fresh violence incident has been reported, and the tribal groups have now called for a shutdown in the Naga areas for 12 hours as well as a 72 hours.
And of course, that crucial point, Ratni, that you were making, that this as centre's efforts to restore peace and normalcy are on, situation in Manipur continues to be sensitive. Moving now to concerning news coming in from Rajasthan, the alleged rape of a minor girl on a university campus. Well, 3 people have now been arrested in this particular case. The girl was allegedly raped on the campus of the university. The incident happened on Saturday night, and it was the victim's friend who approached the police. The girl was from the Biawar district of Rajasthan in Jodhpur, and the incident happened late Saturday night. The youths had befriended and the couple, and then they took to the campus in Jodhpur there, which is where they allegedly raped the minor girl. And well, as chorus for the Uniform Civil Code grows, we try and look at how inheritance may be a sticking point in the implementation of the UCC, which is also likely to be a key political plank of the BJP in the run-up to 2024. Vasudha Venugopal reports.
So in the last 3 weeks, we have seen a lot of debate being reignited around the idea of the Uniform Civil Code, which has brought into fore the diversity of the country, not just amongst its people, but also in its laws. Now, the Law Commission has already received over 25 lakh responses from common people on what they think the country's UCC should look like. And this number is only going to increase with the deadline being extended to July 28. We understand that after this, the Law Commission could also be undertaking a nationwide consultation of sorts to understand what the sensibilities of the people are with regard to the Uniform Civil Code. Why is the UCC so difficult to frame and implement in a country like India known for diversity? It's because some of these personal matters regarding marriage, divorce, inheritance, maintenance and adoption have been governed by personal laws for many years now, and every religion has its own set of prescribed rules, guidelines and customary laws in place which are difficult to understand. These are as diverse as they can be, and when it comes to inheritance, succession has always been an emotive matter when it comes to Indian families. For the Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists and the Jains, it's the Hindu Succession Act of 1956 that matters when it comes to inheritance, and for Muslims, they have their own Muslim personal law, and the Christians have their own law as well. But gender parity is an important challenge here, and it will be important to see if the committee or the framers of the UCC actually look at this challenge. For instance, when a Hindu man dies and leaves behind a property, it first goes to his widow, his mother and his children in equal share, and after that his second rung of heirs come into the picture, which include his own siblings and grandchildren. But these rules don't apply when a Hindu woman dies. Her property first goes to her husband and children in equal share, and after that the husband's heirs come into the picture, and it's only after them her own family can actually stake claim to the property. So there are some gender discrepancies which the committee will have to look at, or the framers will have to look at. When it comes to Muslims, the Muslim women actually are entitled to a share in their husband's property, but it also depends on the number of children they have, and the daughter's share is always less than the son's share. So these are some of the challenges that the framers of the UCC will have to look at. The Uttarakhand panel, which is looking at drafting a uniform civil code for the state, has said that gender parity when it comes to inheritance is an important focus area for them. Amongst other stakeholders of taxation, the Hindu undivided family and the status of it with regard to the upcoming UCC has become an important point of discussion. The HUF is a unique concept in Indian taxation system. It was envisaged to basically promote the family's interest as opposed to the individual's interest. It enjoys a lot of taxation benefits. It basically can run a business. It can avail benefits like an individual does with regard to tax deductions and exemptions, and also tax advantages when it comes to procuring home loans or even in the field of medical insurance. Now, a lot of experts are asking what will happen to HUF and will it impact the way lakhs of Indian families, Hindu families file their returns. Now, another important concern is also the state of ST inheritance in India. Now, a lot of communities across Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, the Santals basically, and also many tribes in northeastern India have also made very vocal submissions saying that their inheritance norms are very different and their customary laws with regard to succession are different from other communities, and any UCC will basically put their social systems in danger, which is why many voices in the government have made it clear that the FT sentiments will not be touched. But when it comes to other matters of inheritance and taxation, a lot of clarity is awaited.